Straight to our next conversation. The Christmas season is here, and so is the need for security agencies and citizens to be more vigilant. In this spirit, the Borno State Police Command has deployed more than 3,000 personnel to secure churches and other places of worship during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. At a meeting with the Northeast Christian Association of Nigeria, Maiduguri, the State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Yusuf, said the purpose is to secure all churches and other places of worship across the state during the festive period. Yusuf added that the security arrangement is also aimed at safeguarding border communities with Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. Mikhail, a proactive move by the Nigerian police to have a hitch-free Christmas and New Year celebration. Don't you agree?
Yes, I think this is the right thing to do, because in the past we were lulled into thinking, oh, the enemy has been defeated, the rate of attacks on Nigerian troops had gone down tremendously, therefore, oh, we can relax. No. They said eternal vigilance is the price of liberty.
True.
You can lose so many lives in a jiffy if you take the terrorists for granted. And we saw what happened when suicide bombers attacked Goza the other day. It was a triple attack. But fortunately, one of the attacks was nipped in the bud. But they killed many people, including soldiers, and civilian JTF, and innocent people who were attending a wedding. So if you go back to the history of insurgency, especially in Borno State, you will see that during this season, they like to attack worship centers. They know that people will cluster around worship centers. They will like to attack them. Remember the Christmas Day bombing that happened in Niger State, where Kabiru Sokoto, the terrorist, was later was found to have masterminded that attack. So they usually like to attack during this period. In Bokos, Plateau State, last year, 150 people were killed on Christmas Day. Because Christmas Day, people will be relaxed. And they like to attack huge crowds so that the rate of fatality can be high, and then their sponsors will even give them more money. Even the Arabs attacked Israel during Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
So, and before Israel knew it, they were already very close to Tel Aviv, which was quite extraordinary. They had to then rally reservists. The Air Force, the Israeli Air Force is one of the best in the world. Sure. They had to climb into the air, and then they tried their best to quickly nip the thing in the bud. So during such seasons, people tend to be relaxed, they are happy.
They drop their guards.
But yes, they lower their guards, and the terrorists will then say, okay, this is an opportunity. Let's hit them. So I'm happy that they've taken these steps, and I'm also happy that even in Zamfara State, the civil defense, they've deployed 550 personnel to worship centers, just to maintain the peace. And they are also targeting, Borno State, they are targeting the border, Nigerian border, with Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. That is the only state that shares borders with 3 countries. So Borno is a unique state. So we hope that with all of these measures being taken, we are going to have a joyful Christmas without incidents.
Without incident. Adewale, just a few days to Christmas. There's been, fears about, PKO talked about the fact that Christmas time, that's when they... But with this coming from the police, is this enough to allay the fears of the people?
Well, I think the decision of the police to deploy some 3,000 policemen is a proactive measure. It reinforces people's confidence that at least they can go to worship places without fear. And that if we also consider the fact that the terrorists, they are one of their major objectives is to polarize Nigeria along religious lines. So they always feast on festive period where they know people are gathering for, for religious purposes. So it's in their own interest to see Nigeria divided, Nigeria in a chaotic situation. So I believe the police must have picked some intelligence information that, look, there are attempts, they may not say it, to attack certain worship places, and then decided to take proactive measures to provide those, protect those places. I think we should also add that there has been improvement in security in Borno State compared with what we used to have the past years. At the time we had more than 1 million IDPs, internally displaced people. Some have returned home. Schools are being built, housing being built for those that are returning, to their homes. So I think there has been a kind of improvement in the past 1 or 2 years. And it is important to keep this momentum. So I believe what the police has done is to ensure a situation where this relative peace can be sustained, at least to ensure that, the police sustain the atmosphere of progress we are making in terms of security for human lives and property. So I think it's quite a commendable effort, And these are the things that we usually want the police to do. Don't wait until the terrorist attack. Take preemptive measures.
Exactly.
Christmas is just about a few days ahead. Take action. Don't wait until Christmas Day before you send soldiers to go and protect either mosques or churches. So I believe they also strengthen their intelligence. So that's the most important thing, so that you can pick information and prevent terrorists from acting.
Exactly. Biko, another question is, after the Yuletide, what happens next? Because should the northern governors start looking at something like a joint security network, just like we have in the southwest? Should they be looking at it, or they don't need it?
What I see happening is in the individual states, the northern governors are replicating what we have in the southwest. Amotekun itself was opposed by many people from northern Nigeria, many opinion holders, including the Attorney General at the time. He took the explanations by President Tinubu at that time through an open letter before the Minister of Justice then relaxed his stance on Amotekun because they felt it was unconstitutional. It was tilting us towards regionalism, which was not what they wanted to hear. But and they said, okay, they were not backed by law. But now states have created laws to support Amotekun, and every state has its own. Lagos already had the neighborhood corps, so, which was a bill sponsored by the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly at the time. So the neighborhood corps exists in Lagos, so Lagos felt it didn't need Amotekun, but other states have it, and they are doing well. And you see from Zamfara to Katsina, they now have individual security outfits doing what Amotekun is doing. And that's why I'm convinced that ultimately we'll still have to settle for state police. Many of the governors now believe that is the right thing to do. They now believe that it's an idea whose time has come. So they may not want to have a joint security outfit, but they have security outfits that they have created.
For individuals?
Yes, in their respective states, and they're providing them with funding, even training. I remember the Katsina Security Vigilance Corps being trained by the police. Police were engaged to train them. So they will continue to improve. People have seen the success of civilian JTF in Borno State. It was civilian JTF that chased Boko Haram out of the metropolis, and they took refuge inside the Sambisa. In the past, attacks used to happen frequently within the metropolis. In fact, I remember people were building a new mosque for the Shehu of Borno. They came in the night and slaughtered them. And in the heart of town. I remember people when President Jonathan went to that place to address the people. Some of the women who spoke against these terrorists, they went after them, slaughtered them overnight. But civilian JTF, made up of young boys who are also resident in the city, they knew these guys, they knew their homes. They started going after them. And invariably, they fled the metropolis and ran into Sambisa forest. That's why you now have relative peace, at least such killings within the state capital no longer happen. So that's the sort of success that we believe that even state police will help us achieve because of the superior knowledge of the terrain. They are not like policemen or soldiers that you post from somewhere, they know next to nothing. You know, somebody told me that there was a policeman, a soldier that was transferred to the northeast. He had never seen a mountain. Because where they used to live, they didn't have a mountain. And then you come and see Mandara Mountain, stretching all the way to Cameroon. So there were things that they had to deal with that they were not familiar with. So knowledge of the terrain is a tremendous advantage. And I believe that state police will help us achieve some of what we've not been able to achieve at this stage.
Your party, so do you have a different opinion?
Well, yeah, not a different opinion, except to say that at the fullness of time, the states will still need to cooperate with each other. There's no way you can have state police or state structure without working together.
Okay,
with states that are very, because some of these people, they does not mean that Borno is their operating base. Some will come from Yobe, some will come from other states. So there's a need for, even if it's at the level of intelligence sharing, I think there should be some level of cooperation among the
level
states.
of cooperation. Yeah. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation.